Hello, chess lovers! In 2001, Nigel Short wrote in the Sunday Telegraph chess column, revealing that he had played nearly 50 speed chess games against Fischer during the past year. "I am 99% sure that I have been playing against the chess legend," he said. "It's tremendously exciting." The story is that Bobby Fischer sometimes logged onto the ICC as a guest and played an incredible series of blitz games against random opponents. Though, of course, on the other hand, Fischer in one of his interviews denied ownership of the account. Here is one of the games played during that match. E4 by Nigel Short, and here comes this crazy F6 move by supposed Fischer. F4, C6, C4, white is grabbing at the center, and King F7, another crazy move. Knight C3 and King E6. Now this whole idea of playing F6 and C6 is to bring the king to a safer square, C7. D4, King D6, F5, King C7, Bishop F4 check, D6, C5, trying to open up this diagonal, E6, F takes E6, Bishop takes E6, Rook C1. Now the threat is capturing on D6 and playing Knight B5 check. A6, controlling the B5 square. Knight F3, G5, C takes D6 check. Well, Bishop G3 is stronger, keeping the tension. If H5, then D5, trying to rip open black king. But instead we see C takes D6 check, King C8, D5, G takes F4, D takes E6, Bishop takes D6, Knight A4, the dark squares are weakened and the knight is eyeing on this B6 square. Bishop B4 check, King F2, and as you have noticed, we are not going to see castling by both sides. No castling today. Knight H6, Queen takes D8 check. Of course, this is very useful for black to go for queen exchange because black king is in danger. Knight B6, Knight G4 check, King E2, Rook A7, H3, Knight E5, Knight takes E5, F takes E5. And now if we have a look at the position, we can say that black has quite a decent position. Though of course this rook on a7 looks very passive, but on the other hand the pawn on e6 is very vulnerable. Now comes g3, f takes g3, bishop g2, king e7, h4, bishop a5, kicking this knight away, knight c4, bishop c7, rook f1, and black is simply capturing on e6, bishop h3 check, king e7, knight e3, rook g8, knight f5 check, king e8, rook d1, c5, knight h6, rook g6, knight g4, g2, rook f2. Of course white can't capture on g2 because the knight is hanging. Rook f2, king e7, rook takes g2, knight c6, knight e3, rook takes g2 check, bishop takes g2, knight d4 check, king d3, and here comes b5. Black is simply a pawn up, and let's see how is black going to realize the advantage. Knight d5 check, king d6, rook f1, bishop d8, not allowing white rook to penetrate the 7th rank. Rook f8, and bishop takes h4. b4, but here comes c4 check, and black has this dangerous passed pawn. King c3, rook g7, bishop f1, rook g4, eyeing on this vulnerable e4 pawn. Rook a8, rook takes e4, rook takes a6 check, king takes d5, allowing bishop g2, but of course this is winning. Knight and bishop and also this pawn are stronger than the rook. c3 check, king c1, bishop d2 check, king d1, knight f5, bishop takes e4 check, king takes e4, king e2, knight d4 check, king d1, king d3, and white resigned. Now the threat is c2 checkmate. If rook a3, then e4, and white is in Zugzwang. For example, if rook b3, then knight takes b3 followed by c2 checkmate. This was a very crazy game. What do you think? Who was the player with the black pieces? Was he the world champion Bobby Fischer? Your comments, please. Good luck.